Raju, Sip Samatma, Sip Girish, Sip Sudeep, Sip Parvati Amma, Sip Sangam Gupta, Sip Ru Mataji, Sip Sagai Raj, Sip Gautam, Sip Padma Vadvani, Sip, it's not Mr. Vadvani, Sip Rais, Sip Sampat, Sip Gaurish, Sip Bridget, Sip Ashok Nichani, Sip Supreme Kaumudi, Sip Apple, it's Pawan, I believe, Sip Ashok Chotwani. And there are many more people who are joining the call. I can't see all of you, but I welcome all of you to this call. And today we have an interesting question. Many people are quite confused about this question, and I hope that it will bring clarity. I am in Finland in the place called Santa Village, Rovaniemi. I don't know whether you can see a little bit of the snow out of the window, but maybe I would one of these days. Today it's very cold, so I'm probably minus 20 degrees, so I'm not going out. But hopefully we will have a chance to do an outdoor call in the next 1 or 2 days to look at the beauty of Finland. Administrator, the question that we are faced with today, I'm getting straight to the question and then opening it up for opening it to, at what stage of life do we get the soul? Which means at what stage of life does the soul actually enter our life, our body? Because we all believe we have a soul. Whatever you understand is the meaning of soul. So if you have a question mark on soul, then first clarify that, understand what is a soul. And then when does the soul come? The different beliefs, the different philosophies. When does the soul enter? Does the soul enter? Does the soul not enter? What exactly is the truth? Who would like to start this interesting conversation of the soul and our body? Let's start.
May I, Guruji?
Guru Mataji, bataiye.
Guruji, pranam. I hope your journey was fine.
Arey, everything is in the hands of the divine. So no, nothing,
Guruji,
all good.
I think when the zygote is formed, at that time only the energy is given to the zygote cell.
So when does the soul enter?
I think soul is at that moment only.
So you're saying the soul enters at the point of formation of the zygote.
Yes.
Okay, that is your view. Who else would like? I'm not giving any comment now because when you say that the soul enters at the point of formation of zygote, we need to discuss it today to understand whether our understanding is right or wrong. But let us continue with other opinions. Please don't forget what you said. Yes, Ru Mataji has told. Who is going next, please? Who would attempt? When does the soul enter the body? Shivam Samatma.
Can I try?
Yes, please.
So at the time of conception, that is the formation of the zygote, that is a exact point when the soul enters and the body is formed afterwards.
Okay, so therefore the soul doesn't enter the body. You are saying something different. Of course, Ru Mataji also said the same thing, but you are saying something one step more. Ru Mataji, Samatma is saying the body is formed later. So how the body is formed is another question of discussion. But Samatma says that the soul also enters when Ru Mataji said at the formation of the zygote. So you don't disagree with Ru Mataji, right?
No.
Okay. So Samatma also agrees with Ru Mataji. Continue. Sudeep Bhargava.
Sir.
Sudeep.
For me, the soul was already there. It's not about whether it comes or it goes. Soul is everywhere. It's just that the body comes inside the soul. It's like that's how I look at it. I don't know whether I'm able to put it in the right words or not. But for me, soul was already there. It's just the body comes into the soul. It's not the soul coming into the body.
Now you are telling something quite different compared to Ru Mataji and Samatma. You are telling that the soul doesn't come. You are saying the soul is already there. Where is the question of the soul coming?
Yeah, consciousness is all around us, so it has to be the soul. Same thing. That's how I look at it.
So Sudeep Bhargava is challenging the two ladies.
No, not challenging. No, wrong
No,
word,
no,
sir.
no. See, yeah, this is fine. When we are having a question answer session, we should not feel every day is a day of learning. Every day is a day of learning, and we have to continue and continue and continue. So Sudeep says, no, there's no question of, where's the question of the soul entering? Soul is already there. So I don't know. I don't know what Sudeep is talking. But
Guruji, so, Guruji, I am not against Sudeep's answer, but this I feel when the body leaves, then death takes place. So वो भी तो energy है which is leaving the body. So ऐसे ही it is entering the zygote cell. I don't know whether I am wrong or right.
no, it's nothing is
कुछ
wrong
तो
or right.
है, कुछ तो है जो उस वक्त बर्थ टाइम जब कंसीव करते हैं तो अराइव करता है और जब हम डेथ होती है it leaves.
You are absolutely right. So Sudeep is talking of another magic show. So we will address that magic show separately. But Sudeep doesn't deny. Sudeep doesn't deny that although the soul is there, something arrives and something departs. Sudeep, you don't deny that while the soul is always there. Rumataji is saying she's agreeing that Sudeep jo bol raha hai, theek hai, but something arrives. That is why there is birth. Otherwise, where does conception take place? And at death, something departs. Now, whether it's there always, is not there, no. Rumataji is saying, I cannot accept that something has to arrive. And yes, Sudeep.
So,
On a lighter note, I can just put one point. So it's like when people sitting in the train, they say, what is the station that is coming? So see, answer the person that gave us, station doesn't come. Station was already there. Train is coming to that station. And the name of that station is so-and-so. So station was already there. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. So let us see. We have Guruji
good,
Ashok
good,
Nichani.
Sudeepji, good, very good.
So let us check Ashok Nichani. What has Ashok Nichani got to say?
Shivam Sarji.
Shivam Ashok.
Sarji, I agree to Ru Mataji and Sudeep's answers. They are extremely good and right, but it is with the blessings of the divine, energy of that divine that comes into the person's body. At that time, when the zygote is formed, with the energy of that, blessings of the divine.
You know, if you listen to some of the spiritual masters, some of the spiritual masters say that the soul enters at the 9th month, the soul enters at the 4th month. There are many things that many spiritual masters have got different opinion, Ashok. Therefore, all of you are at least admitting one thing, that it is at the point of formation of zygote. At least right now, nobody is denying this, that it is at the point of conception, when a child is conceived in the mother, 9 months before birth. The child is already born, the ruh or the atma enters at that point of time. Now, whether the ruh enters or not enters is another point of discussion, whether we will have time to touch it today. But all this is part of this journey called enlightenment. Now we are going to discuss, but that is why we are here. That is why, even though I'm in Finland, the call doesn't get cancelled. Why the call doesn't get cancelled? Because we don't stop this continuous process of discussing, of analyzing, of who am I, why am I here, who came, when the soul came, did the soul come, was the soul already there? Then if the soul was already there, then who came, from where they came, how the soul came, how the zygote was conceived, who made the zygote get conceived? No, this is all, see, when you realize it, you don't have to memorize it. When you realize it, you don't have to memorize it. It is there in your chit. It is there in your consciousness. When there is no bhoga, there is yoga. The problem is because of bhoga, there is no yoga. You are not united. You're not united with the divine because we are united with this samsara. We are caught in this samsara, and therefore we are unable to understand when the soul comes, how the soul comes. Does the soul actually come or not? Sudeep says soul is there everywhere. It's just like saying the air came into my mouth. Where was air coming in the mouth? Air is everywhere. Air is in my mouth. Air is in my nose. Air is in my head. If there was no air, I would not be there. So the question is, did the air actually come, or the air was already there? Or did the soul actually come into the body, or the soul was there? Rumataji says, but if the soul was there, then how did birth take place? Something came. And so at death, something goes. That's also correct. So what comes, what goes, from where it comes, where it goes. This is the journey of enlightenment. This is the journey which will liberate us from the suffering on earth. This is the journey which will liberate us from rebirth. This is the journey which will take us not just to liberation, but to unification with the divine. This is the ultimate goal of life, to realize we are not the body, mind, ego, we are the divine soul. This is what we are here for. I would like to give the opportunity. I saw Bliko's hand going up, but Ashok Nichani's hand is also up. So, Ashok, are you still wanting to say something more, Ashok Nichani? Or you finished? Bliko, do you want to say something, Bliko?
No, sir.
No, okay.
It's over. Thank you.
No, good. So anybody wants to ask any more questions, or should I conclude this subject?
I would just like to add something.
Yes, please. This is Sampath, right?
So yeah, my name is Jagdish. I'm actually attending from Oslo. I'm an auditor. I work out of Oslo, Norway, and I'm just taking the call from here. This is my first meeting, and I kind of came through this. I got to know this from a friend.
Welcome and welcome to the call. You have a question or a comment? Go ahead. It's your time.
I wanted to kind of add to what Sudeep said, right? I feel like the soul is something that always exists. And I feel like it's really a matter of getting to know, or matter of realizing it. It's not a matter of whether it exists or whether it isn't, but it's really, I feel like, when do I get to know that there is a soul, and how do I know that I'm going towards the path of enlightenment per se?
So do you know you have a soul, or you don't realize, you're not sure about whether you have a soul or not?
I feel like everybody has a soul, but they kind of tend to make use of it only once they know and realize what the purpose of their life is.
You seem to be a computer guy, aren't you?
You could say that, kind of, yeah.
So let me, since you're coming for the first call, I would like to devote a minute or two to you. So how does a computer work? Is there some difference between hardware and software, or there's no difference?
There is a difference, and yeah.
So hardware, what is hardware? Hardware is what you touch and feel, right? It's the screen, It's your keyboard, your mouse, your memory card, all that makes the hardware. But you cannot touch the software, right? Can you touch the software?
No.
Okay. So software is a subtle portion. It's a subtle part. But if there's no operating system, if there's no software, then can the computer work?
No.
So what, Jagdish, right? I can see Sampath on the screen. So Jagdish, what makes the computer work?
I think it's the combination of both the hardware and the software that's wired into it.
That's why this is how I catch you by your tail now. If you have the hardware and software, Jagdish, but there's no power supply, then will your computer work?
No.
Okay, so what do you need now, Jagdish? You need not just two things, not hardware and software, but you also need the power supply.
The power supply.
Whether it's a power bank, whether it's a battery, whether it's a power cord, you need the computer to have hardware, software, and power supply. Just to tell you, the human computer needs to have the hardware, which is the body, the software, which is the mind, ego, intellect, and memory, and the power supply, which is the soul. So the human computer also needs A, B, and C, just like you're a tech guy in Oslo. You're in Norway. I'm very close to Norway, so I'm in Finland right now. So good to have you on the call. I hope this is giving you some direction. So we are on this call every day at Indian time, 8 o'clock. Please join us Fridays, 7:30. And we are on this journey for enlightenment. So in the next few minutes, you will have a little more clarity of what we are talking about. And please point out if you have a doubt, if you have a question. Let's continue the discussion. So
definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have another master on the call. His name is Girish. So Girish Master, what do you have to say, sir?
It is the capacity to reflect energy.
What is
Paramatma's
the capacity?
Energy, when it is capable of being reflected by the body, there is Jnana. When the body is no more capable of reflecting it, there is no Jaan.
Correct. So the question is, when does the Jaan, when does the soul, when does the Jaan, the power, the Ruh, the Atma, when does it come into the body?
The embryo, when it grows to such an extent where it can reflect, the
So,
Atma gets manifested.
so you're not agreeing with the whole group. The whole group is saying at the first
So it
cell, at
is
the
just a
formation of zygote.
manifestation and sucking back to the source.
Girish, the group is saying, everybody on the group is saying that when the first cell, the sperm and the egg of mother and father, when it is fusion happens and the life is created in a conception of the first cell called a zygote, does the soul already enter at that point? Is there reflection of Jaan in that point or no?
Yes.
So you also agree?
Presence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So my dear, thank you for other. There would be another discussion. We had to go for one more discussion otherwise. So there is, my dear friends. Let us move forward because we want to ask other questions as well. We are that energy that causes the zygote to be formed. That energy, Sudeep says it exists, no doubt it exists. That energy, Ru Mataji says it comes, no doubt it comes. Both are correct. That energy exists and that energy comes. Both are correct. So there is no dispute in both the points. Sudeep, I hope you're getting my point. That energy exists. But Sudeep, when that energy exists, what creates the zygote? What creates the zygote is when there's the mind and ego that comes into the consciousness along with karma, when the mind and ego is left one body and it is roaming into its next journey, at that point, the soul creates soul is already there, it doesn't come. The soul creates that spark of a fusion and the zygote is formed. So therefore, whether you say it comes or you say it doesn't come, doesn't matter. The soul energizes, empowers, creates that first cell of zygote through the mind and ego, the software, which we were explaining to Jagdish Sampath. That first cell is sparked with the presence of the soul. Now I'm telling you one more thing before I hand over to question answers. It is the same energy that when it leaves the body at death, there is no breath. Now, again, let's not get into the discussion whether it goes anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere because, like Sudeep says, it is everywhere. But it leaves. But it leaves the body. If it did not leave the body, Sudeep, then the death would not happen. It leaves the body. It leaves that body at death, and that body becomes a mass of elements, 5 elements. The Jaan, the Pran, what Girish told. Girish, you agree with me? The Jaan, the Pran, the soul, the Atma, the Ruh leaves at that moment. My dear friends, if we understand this much, Jagdish Sampath, if we understand this much, we are on the doorstep of enlightenment. Then this knowledge is like water which needs to crystallize into ice. Water is water. It is not ice. It needs to crystallize. Knowledge is knowledge. It is not enlightenment until we realize. Please capture the quote. Water is water. Until into ice, it does not crystallize. Knowledge is knowledge. Until with enlightenment, until we realize. So until we realize, knowledge is not enlightenment. We have to realize, I am that. Okay, let's get back to questions. We have got 15 minutes more at least. Question answers. Who would like to ask questions today?
Shubham,
Shivoham.
I didn't get that answer what you told. Can you please explain in Hindi?
Which answer?
This how the soul enters.
सोल पहला जो कण है, बच्चे का जो पहला कण होता है, that is 9 months before. The soul is everywhere. But the mind and ego carrying karma, after it leaves one body, it gets energized by the soul into the womb of the mother. माँ के कोख में पहला जो कण है वो सोल के पावर से जीवित हो जाता है. That is the what I was explaining. Okay, you try to digest it and you can come back. Next
Fine,
question. Thank you. Who else would like to ask another question? And the question can be anything on any subject of enlightenment, happiness, liberation, karma, life, death, misery, problems, moksha, nirvana, mukti. Any question on the subject of enlightenment? Who would like to ask?
What is the source?
What is the
source for the power supply?
What is the source for the power supply? The source, there is no source for the power supply. The source is beginningless and endless. It is Prabhu Paas hai. Prabhu Paas hai means Prabhu Param Amar Anant Anadi Sarva Shakti. In Hindi, you understand it better than in English. God is the supreme immortal power. The source is source. It is sourceless. It is asking who created the sun? No, the sun does not need to be created. The sun is the power. So you don't try to say who created the wind, who created, no, that is the power, the supreme immortal power in you, in me, in the sun that glows, the wind that blows, the water that flows, that power is everywhere. And if you concentrate on the line, Prabhu Paas hai, it's a beautiful, that's why we got this gift of Paas hai. Paas hai means Prabhu Param Amar Anant Anadi Sarva Shakti. Supreme immortal power, SIP. Thank you. Next question.
So can I go with a question now?
Yes, you can.
So we spoke about soul and when we kind of realize it, but my question is, there are some people kind of go through life and they realize that there is this higher power and how they can put it to use. And there are some people or a lot of people who are in the path of trying to figure that out, So my question is, when does one realize that they have like the power or they're going towards the path of enlightenment and they can definitely achieve more in life? And how do they do that?
When we overcome ignorance, we realize the truth. So, Jagdish, that point can happen either with the grace of God, the power, the guidance of a guru. But as long as we are ignorant, since you come on the call for the first time, let me tell you the story of an ignorant beggar. The beggar was sitting down in Oslo, and he was begging on the railway station. And when he was begging in Oslo railway station, people were dropping coins into his box. So he was a blind beggar. He could not see. So every day he would take all the coins from the box and all the dirty papers that were there. He would throw all the dirty papers and then he would go. There was a guy who used to watch this beggar every day. One day he told the beggar, "Why are you taking all the coins and throwing away all the notes? You're throwing the €5 note, €10, €20. You're throwing the notes and you're taking the coins." The beggar said, "I don't know. I didn't realize I thought they're dirty notes. So I only take the coins because I thought they're notes. I don't know. He didn't know the meaning of note in the sense that he didn't realize people are dropping notes." This analogy makes us realize, as long as the beggar did not realize that he was just throwing away the more valuable things, we human beings, you are a diamond. Jagdish, you are a diamond. But if you think you're a stone, then with other stones you will be thrown. If you are a diamond, you need to realize you're a diamond. And if you don't realize you're a diamond, you will live and die as an ordinary stone. That's why you need a call like this. That's why I was fortunate to be with the Guru for 25 years. I spent 25 years asking questions to my spiritual master. He told me to go on a quest, a talash. He made me start the journey. Without a spiritual master, we are like driving a car without a GPS. We know the meaning of GPS. If I'm in Finland, I use a GPS, a global positioning system. But without a guru, we don't have the guru's powerful signal. We need GPS, the guru's powerful signal, to take us on the path and to switch on the light within. We don't know how to go within, how to go inside, how to realize what is inside. Thank you, Jagdish. Next question. Who's going on the next on the next question?
Shivam Prabhuji.
Shivoham.
I'm new to this video Zoom video meeting.
Yes.
But I'm following you since a week now. You keep on saying that to get the spiritual enlightenment, we should overcome the karma. But in Bhagavad Gita, it has said that karma is important part of our life. So what do you say on that?
No, who said that karma is not important part of our life? Karma is important part of our life, but there are two aspects. One, to do good karma or to do bad karma. So it's a no-brainer. Obviously, we must do good karma, because just like the seed you plant will decide the fruit on the tree, the deed you plant will decide your destiny. So if you do good karma, you have a good destiny. If you do bad karma, you have a bad destiny. But even if you do good karma, you have to come back to earth to face your karma. You will not be united. You will not be liberated. You will not attain nirvana and moksha. The ultimate goal of life is not to return to earth in a rebirth. The ultimate goal of life is to be united with God. And for that, we have to transcend the karma.
So
in
karma
the Bhagavad
is secondary.
Gita, no, it's not secondary. You have to overcome the ignorance that I am not the doer of karma. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjun,
we should do karma, but with no any expectation. Like
correct. That is called karma yogi. That is there in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that you must do all action. Hey Arjuna, whatever you do, surrender it unto me. Do it as an instrument. Do it for me. Expect no karma phala. Expect nothing from your karma. But this is what even Krishna tells Arjuna. Of course, we don't go by everything of every scripture. We go only by the truth. If we don't bother which scripture talks about it, we go by the truth. The truth, and nothing but the truth. I should be able to give you an answer if I tell you to follow it. Otherwise, I have no business in giving you that answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tanu. Haji.
Thank you very much. I'm very much inspired by you.
Thank you. Thank you for being on the call. Tanu Chopra.
Shivoham Guruji.
Shivoham Tanu.
Guruji, I wanted to ask you that I was reading your book. So in the book, I saw some association with what we attract towards us, and how is the action related to it?
Is this book The Law of Attraction? Which book are you reading?
Yes.
So many people in this world, they get carried away by this, what is known as the secret. And the secret is all about manifestation, right? So you can just manifest anything you want in this life. If you want coffee, you keep on manifesting coffee, and coffee will come into your life. Not toffee. Coffee will come. Why? Because you manifested coffee. The point is, how did coffee come into your life? If you just manifest and you keep on imagining it, yes, what happens is, when you attract something, the thought in you becomes very powerful. But if the thought doesn't have action, there will be no attraction. Therefore, there is no law of attraction. There is only a theory of attraction. The theory of attraction, if you look at the word attraction, inside the word attraction, there is the word action. If you remove action from attraction, what is left is atra. A-T-T-R, atra. Atra. What is atra? Atra, just some sound. Attraction. There must be attraction. So unless there's attraction, there can be no attraction. It is the law of action that makes attraction work. Otherwise, if you keep on dreaming and dreaming, no. Of course, thoughts are very powerful. Thoughts become feelings and feelings become action. But if there is no action, correct, you cannot achieve anything, good or bad. Even bad, if you have a bad thought, bad attraction, no, even a bad thought will not have result. A lot of people think, if I have bad thoughts, will I have to suffer from karma? No, you don't have to suffer from bad thoughts. If you stop the thought, there's no karma, there's no action. Similarly, good thought, oh, lovely thought, I want enlightenment, I want enlightenment, I want enlightenment, I want enlightenment, I want enlightenment. Will you get enlightenment? No way, no chance. Unless you move forward on the journey, unless there is action, unless you have a lot of bhakti, but there's no jnana yoga, there's no wisdom, you don't talk to spiritual people, you don't realize the truth, how can you be enlightened? You can't attract it. I hope you got the answer, Tanu.
Yes, Guruji.
Any doubt? Okay.
No.
I think we have doubt, let me know. Pavan, I think, Pavan, you're an apple, right? Yes, you have a question?
My mic is not right, so I've noted down my question. If you can read it.
Okay, I will just read your question. Atmatray, till I read his question, let me hand over to Atmatray. I'm reading Pavan's question next. Atmatray.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam,
sir. Sir. How to see God in everyone, sir? We are trying, but many times
how to see?
How to God in everyone.
You cannot see it. You cannot see. You have to experience. Okay. You have to experience. You have to experience God in a. So when you can try to use, for example, there's a bhajan, right? The bhajan, what it says? Okay. प्रभु तो है हर जगह हर शय में वो है कोई जगह ना जहां वो नहीं है कण कण में वो है उसके बिन कुछ नहीं है सब कुछ वही है सब कुछ वही है फूल में प्रभु है फल में भी प्रभु है मिठास में प्रभु है सुगंध भी वही है भाग भागों के जादू में प्रभु ही समा है सब कुछ वही है सब कुछ. So now if I tell you like this, will you see God everywhere? No. How will you see God, Atmatray? When you realize I am not Atmatray. I am the Atma. I am the Atma. When you realize I am the Atma, and you realize everybody on this call is Atma, you say everybody is. You see Kiran Kathuria on the name, but Kiran Kathuria is not Kiran Kathuria. She's Ru Mataji. Ru means she's the soul. When we realize that everything is the soul, then we don't see. Let me explain to you. The small, I always give this example. The small child was crying for Santa Claus candy. The mother said, don't have Santa Claus candy, you take snowman candy or Christmas tree candy. The child started crying, no, I want Santa Claus candy. The mother gave 2 slaps. Hey, you fool. Santa Claus candy, Christmas tree candy, snowman candy, all same, all sugar candy. She gave 2 slaps, the child is crying. Because the child doesn't understand, all are made of sugar. So Atmatray, the mother understands, the mother realizes, all sweets are made of sugar. The child doesn't realize. When we go to a jewelry shop, we ask that man, what is the cost of this ring? What is the cost of bracelet? What is the cost of necklace? We see them as different ornaments. But the goldsmith, the jeweler, sees everything as gold. The jeweler does. So you have to experience, God everywhere by realizing that essentially everything is God. You have to realize this. You can't see it. You can't see because God is not having any form. It's just like saying, Atmatray, that you want to see electricity in the bulb. Can you see
No.
electricity in the bulb?
No, sir.
If you want to see electricity, I can tell you how. Put your hand inside the bulb. Put your hand in the light.
Hmm.
You will go like this because the electricity is there. That's why the bulb is working. Huh?
Yes.
You put electricity in the motor, in the air conditioner. You put your hand inside and tell me whether current is there or current is not there.
Yes. Current is
Huh?
there.
But can you see the current?
No, sir.
So Atmat, right? When you see any soul, when you see a butterfly is flying, what must you see? What must you see? Not the butterfly. You must
Okay.
experience the power of the butterfly. When there's a bird flying, you experience the power. When there's a fish swimming, you don't see the fish. The fish will be dead. You remove the fish from the water, it will be dead. Water is giving power to the fish. You can't see it. You have to realize it. It is an anubhuti. This is a anubhuti. Many people, because there is no anubhuti, there is avidya. So what is the choice? Either you have to have anubhuti or you have to live with avidya. The choice is yours. If you don't have anubhuti, then there's avidya. You will see. You will see the effect. You will not see the cause. You will see the skin. You will not see the power that is within. So, Atmata, don't try to see it. Try to experience it.
I see.
I hope
Sure.
you're getting the point. And this comes. This will come. If you keep on practicing, it will come.
I see.
You are very close to it. You know the answer, but I'm just helping you. You already know this answer. Nothing new to you, but just absorb what I'm saying. Don't try to see with your eyes. Open your real eyes. When you open your real eyes, you will experience Sip, the supreme. So Sip is not God. Sip is power, supreme immortal power. You experience that power.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Very
Advait.
nice, sir. Thank you. Dhanyavad, sir.
Dhanyavad to you, sir. Dhanyavad for your lovely questions. Pawan said, what is bhoga? When there is no bhoga, there is yoga. Pawan, you know your SIM card. Pawan, your SIM card is connected to network, correct? But sometimes when your SIM card is not connected to your network, then there's no data. Because your SIM card gets connected to some other network. It's just like your Wi-Fi. Suppose you have a Wi-Fi, it's connected to your house network, there's internet. Suppose the Wi-Fi gets connected to neighbor's network, whether you need a password, then there is no network, no network.
So you mean you're telling like when I don't have the password for the network or what?
No, please don't take my words literally. Please understand what I'm trying to say.
Sorry.
When there is no connection, when there's no connection with the internet, you cannot use the internet. That much you understand. When there is no yoga, when there's no connection with God, there's a disconnection. When there's a disconnection with God, then you get connected to the world. You get connected to people and possessions and desires and lust and duty and all these things. Desire, lust, duty, craving. It makes you a person who is not a yogi, but a bhogi. A yogi is always connected to God, to Sip. A bhogi is connected to the world.
Oh, awesome.
So, my dear friends, thank you for that. You see, Atmatrai and Pawan and Jagdish and all of you, Rumataji, Samatma, Sudeep, who spoke so beautifully. This question answer session is of no use without your questions. What is the use? If you don't ask relevant questions, I cannot give relevant answers. Girish, unless Girish comes and asks a relevant question, unless you all ask questions, unless Ashok Nichani spoke a question, I'm just giving names of all the people who spoke today. Tanu came and asked a question. Unless there are relevant questions, I cannot give answers. Jagdish came from Oslo and joined today. Bliko and Bridget are from Canada. We have people from different parts of the world, from different areas of India, from all parts of India. Yeah, but unless you come with amazing questions, this session will never reach its level of enlightenment that it deserves. So I thank you for your amazing questions and I bow down to you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Indian time 8.
Thank you.